It is important to have a parliament that reflects the diversity of our country and our electorate, and women are more than 50% of our population, so it is really important that their views and the way that they think about our country and what needs to happen are reflected in our parliament. It's really important that our parliament reflects the society that it is here to serve. So having more women in government is very important. We make up more than 50% of the population. And the parliament should also reflect the diversity of our communities. So more women from First Nations, but also men from, English as a second language backgrounds. All of those things are important to make our democracy sound, and making sure that the decisions are made reflect everybody. Confidence, having good mentors who give them the ability to believe in themselves, sometimes opportunities, or being able to identify what the opportunity is and what they want to do, and how they want to reflect their passion within the government. So not everybody needs to be a member of parliament necessarily to affect the decisions that were made. It's really important that people that are making decisions have good information, that there is research, that the public service is supported and well funded. So there are lots of things that we can, that if they're not happening as a society, don't go forward. So making sure that that women are paid properly, so that there is equity, and they have the ability to make choices. Because if the gender pay gap is not addressed, sometimes that means that women don't have those choices that naturally men will have, because they're paid better, their superannuation is available to them. I think the challenges that face women are very similar, whatever they choose to do. It's a belief in ourselves, it's the confidence to do whatever they choose to do, because women have lots of passion, and lots of capabilities, and sometimes the thing that keeps them held back is the fact that no one mentors them and gives them that confidence to make a difference. But there's some practical things as well. Quite often they don't have the resources, so childcare costs, having to pay a mortgage means that decisions are made where the men don't actually necessarily have the same decisions to make, and it makes it more difficult. But they're not barriers that can't be overcome with a conversation about what is reasonable, what has to happen, and what should be going on in society. So simply having the conversation will start that, and it's about having board positions available to people. And sometimes it's about if you can see it, you can do it. So in the federal parliament, Labor has 47% of the lower house seats are women. So I would hope that that's an encouragement for women in our movement, that we can do it because we can see it. And we need the whole of society, though, to be making those decisions. My personal story, I am incredibly lucky I've been in the party for 25 years and have been mentored by an incredibly supportive male cohort who have made sure that in my part of the party for that 25 years there was representation of women, that people, whatever their gender or whatever their ethnic, it made no difference. It was their contribution. I understand that not everybody has my story, so I understand that for lots of women that's not the case. But I do know that I have been incredibly blessed by the people who've supported me. I think women working in politics have very similar experiences as the men. There is always a decision to be made about family life, about missing particular events because you have to go somewhere else. It is a requirement. You need to be in Parliament. It seems to me that every family crisis happens when I'm in Canberra. That's the way it is. But it has nothing to do with my gender, and my male colleagues also find it challenging. But what I hold on to is the fact that I am remunerated well for what I do. But in my electorate, there are people, both male and female, struggling every day on New Start, which is well below the poverty line. But even award wages, they are paying off mortgages. They tend to have lots more challenges than I do. So I, in some respects, have the means to be able to get over that. I think women's issues have to do with what they believe themselves they can do. So if you think you can do it, there is always a way around a problem. There's always a way to challenge it. And no job comes without its challenges. And I think you just need to do those, figure out what it is for yourself that you can get through it and start doing it. So, in addition to being a member of Parliament and serving my constituents and making sure that we can help them with whatever their challenges or issues are, I am also the opposition whip. The opposition whip's responsibility is to make sure that my colleagues are available to speak when necessary within the Parliament. It's a pastoral role, so assisting newer members of Parliament with challenges they might have about schedule changes and just about anything really. And also I need to make sure that when there's a division in the Parliament, so when there's an actual decision being made about a bill, that everybody is recorded accurately about how they're voting, and that the people who are in the chamber are actually supposed to be there, and that's basically what I do. I was nominated by my colleagues, so this is my second term of Parliament, and the previous whip is now an assistant minister, so the position was available, and I was nominated by my colleagues because they, I'm sure, felt that I was able to do it and that I'd shown some expertise in my previous dealings in the Parliament in the last term.